Thank you for visiting our channel. Today I came out to review and also quick unbox this awesome looking special edition Buzztv's X5AX. So this should be an anticipated video, and on top of that, this is going to be a chameleon color. For the full review, don't forget to visit our website so you can learn more about the actual Buzztv. So here you go. This is it. It is 4 GB of RAM. It has 128 GB internal storage. Comes with a gigabit LAN, Wi-Fi 6 and Android 11. Yes, it is 4K, by the way, just to mention that. Comes with a beautiful remote called BT400. It is backlit. Yes, and I do not want to forget, if you haven't subscribed to our channel, click the subscribe button. Make sure you share this with your friends and family, and make sure to click the notification, select all, in order to get notified once we have a new video out. On top of that, if you have a question, drop them at the bottom of the video. We love to help you out ASAP. And don't forget to click the like button. It really motivates us to make these type of videos quickly with a little more detail every time. So here are all the components that are part of the box. So it comes with this information page, which has 2 URLs there and also have the 2 QR codes. So if you grab your phone and you want to just find out exactly what this one is on the top, when you select it, it takes a couple of seconds and then it will give you the little pop-up. And that way you will be able to see the user manual for your remote. In this case, this is the BT400. All of the information is on this, on what you can do and if you need help. Now that one was the first one, and then the second one is the quick start guide. And this way you can see the actual X5 user manual, and this one is going to be general for all of the X5s, but if you go down, has a lot of information that you can learn from. Now it also comes with an HDMI cable. Since we have too many of them, I do not want to open it. It also comes with a newer style power adapter, and this one, if you can see, it is 5 volt 2 amp, but the way that has been designed is very nice and it's very small. And here is the connector that goes into X5AX. This is how it looks. It does come with 2 AAA batteries that is done by Energizer. It also comes with this remote. It is called BT400. All the buttons on this, that how you can be able to use the power button with your TV and also shut off your box. Also you have the source button. You have the play and pause, rewind and fast forward. Also you have the buzz button, which will already automatically opens the app. You also have the menu button, the guide button, navigation key with the OK in the middle. Also, if you look down, you have the return key, the home button, the static mouse button. You also have volume up and down, channel up and down. Right in the middle, you have the back button, and you also have this one is more like last button. Info button, you have the 4 colored button. We will cover all of these once we get into the actual app portion of the smart app. And then you have full numeric keys. And you also have the little logo in the bottom. If you flip it in the back, you have a nice QR code so you can scan it if you need to learn more about the actual remote. If you look on the top, you have the IR sensor. This remote is not only Bluetooth, it's also going to work as IR with your box itself. If you open the back, it will take 2 AAA batteries, which we already entered inside of it. And what we're trying to accomplish is to turn on the backlit, which we will show once we hook up the box itself, except that you cannot really do it. If you really look, the design is really nicely done too. So the bottom is a little bit bigger. The top has a little part so you can put your finger so you know exactly that's the top part. And on top of that, it has a little part so when you put it on the ground, it does not wobble that much, which is an awesome thing to see. All right, looking at the box itself, it is designed very differently. Now this is called X5AX for the Wi-Fi 6, and it is called Chameleon. In another word, special edition. They're not going to make a lot of these, but what they make, I'm sure you're going to like it. And you can see that why they call it Chameleon, because it changes color. So on the top you have their logo, which is really nicely done, just like the other X5. And then you have their hexagons, which is really cool. These are just prints, but these are nicely designed. These are not real screws, but it's really nicely created. If you look in the front, you have a little blue light or red light when you turn it on and turn it off. You have the IR sensor. You know, if you go on one side of it, you have a micro SD slot, which can read up to 256. And also you have one USB 3.0, one USB 2.0. Now remember that a lot of you are start asking question why 2.0? It's really good for OTG, or in this case, if you want to burn something on this box, you can use this in order to go through and not the number 3, which is going to be a lot faster. But once you go to the back part of it, you have 2 antennas, and this antenna is detachable, as I'm showing you right now. And this way you can put a bigger antenna if you need it for Wi-Fi gain. This will really help you out. But if you don't need it, this will do the job for you perfectly. Except that you have a AV port, which this will only work for audio right and left and not for video. So something like this, but the only difference will be is the video would not work, only the audio will work, which is going to be right and left. And this way you get your analog sound out for your stereo system. On top of that, you have a gigabit LAN, you have HDMI 2.2 in this case. Also, you have optical audio connection, so you can connect it to your stereo system for better sound. Also, you have the power connection, which is 5 volt 2 amp. And then the second antenna, which is again, it is detachable. Now, nothing on this side. Once you go to the bottom, I know there's a different colors once you go to different parts of it, but you have 4 little spots. These are just rubber, so when you put it on the actual ground, it is not going to move that much, which is a really good thing. But you have a lot of holes for ventilation, and then you do have the printed part that says X528AX, made in China. Also, you have all the information underneath for FCC and more. And then you have a little sticker for the MAC address and also serial number. So this is how your box going to function, or if you need warranty, will work. If you look in the front, it looks beautiful. Let's just put this down. Let's hook it up. Now, because of CEC, we're going to connect the HDMI wire first. Make sure the TV is on, and then hook up your power. And if everything all right, you're going to see this little blue light in the front. That means is that the TV is on. And here you go. Now grab your remote, make sure that you have batteries inside of it. And as indicated right over here, we're going to press the OK and then the home button together for a couple of seconds. And then once it gets, as soon as it gets paired, this is what you should see. So grabbing your remote, you can select English, New York in this case, because we're in the same region. So when it starts loading, this is the first animation you should see. And it shows this is Buzztv 5 and it goes in. I have to mention that I have already set it up. I've shown you the screen. So this is what we will see. And our remote is already connected as Bluetooth because it comes part of it. So they did not change much onto this one. The name is still there. You have the settings, time, and also it shows the weather widget right on the side. Now, if this is incorrect, we will show you in this video how you can fix it. So it goes from Celsius to Fahrenheit or going back and forth. The next part is the main 4 icons, which is for Buzztv. And then you have all apps. And then these are the shortcuts that you can create. But this part is all the apps that are inside of here too. The only thing is that you can scroll down and then you can go through it, so you can select certain apps, and also you can move it for one time. So there you go, it says move, and you can bring it to be first one on the list or third one on the list, your choice, and it will stay. Only thing is that once you do a reboot, it goes back to normal and it will disappear. So it's kind of useless to process that part, but here you go. So now when you go into all apps, all of your apps comes up. Over here, you cannot move the icon, but you can make a shortcut to the front. So something like this. Now when you go back, it should show up on the list and it's right over there. So you can click on it again, so you can move, or you can remove shortcut, or you can even uninstall it from here. That's the best part. Now there are certain things that you can play with this. So number one is going into settings. When you scroll up, this is the new menu that you should see. So it shows you a bunch of stuff like server settings. Also it shows you time, which is right over here, and then the widget, because it is kind of hidden at the back. So now you can be able to see it here. And if you're connected via Wi-Fi or LAN connection, it shows over here. So I'm connected with LAN right now because I have already tested the box. Bluetooth is on because your remote works on it. Another part is the update, which you already up to date. you can change background, which we're going to do in this video in a couple of seconds. Except that Buzz Utilities here, you can select it. And here are some of the options that you can do. Number one is you can check for update, which we already shown. Also, you can go in and you can change the themes to 4 different ones, which we're going to get to in a couple of seconds. And then also weather widget. This is where you can be able to change from Celsius to Fahrenheit. So it's all inside of the Buzztv utility. Another part is remote control. You can change a lot of things inside of it, but there's an app for it. Let's go through that and set it up. The only thing that you don't see in there is going to be your mouse pointer, which is this thing. And then for a static one, you can make it faster or slower by just going over here. And as a default, it's always going to stay in the middle, which is 0. And that's how good it is. Another part is that you can change your color key mapping. We're going to get there in a couple of seconds. And then the volume control. Now, this is always set up as a max because Buzztv wants you to use your regular remote so you can control your TV. And that way, the volume will be from your TV, not from the box. If you don't want to use it and you want to use it on your box, just turn this off. And now you can use your remote control on the box in order for the volume to go up or down, and easily you can set it up. So these are the little cool things about it, and then we will go to it one by one. Number one, let's go through and do some benchmarking before we can go next. Is going to be Geekbench. And here's the number. So for single core, we got 154. And for multi-core, we received 543, which is a beautiful thing. It is OS 11 and it has a lot of space. So this number looks good at it. Another part that we have done is we went through some DRM check. That's the second thing I wanted to go to. This way, you can check the name is written properly, X528AX, which is proper thing. Now, if you want to go down a little bit, there is a few things that you can see underneath of it. Is number one is your DHCP level is 2.3 on this one, which is way above than most of TVs that you purchase these days, which is a really good thing. But your current HDCP is from where I am recording. It doesn't have any, so it shows that also. But if you do have a 4K TV, brand new TV, also the HDCP will change. And this is how you will be able to process and get your remote paired quickly and easily to this. The next part is going to be RootCheck, so we can click on it. And you can see that it's right over here, so we haven't verified. We will click on it, and it is not fully rooted. And there's a reason for that. The next part will be AIDA64. Now, this gives you a lot of detailed information as raw, so let's go to it. Number one will be system. You can see that the device type says TV, and also the manufacturer's Dried Logic, which is written properly. Also, the brand is Dried Logic, which is going down really good, by the way. And one part we have to basically totally go into blur it out is going to be serial number. And then there's a installed RAM on this is 4 GB, how much is going to be used. And also the internal storage on this is going to be 128 GB, and this is how much is available. Bluetooth on this, we know that it's Bluetooth 5, but for some reason the board does not read it right, so this app cannot really pick it up. But it is Bluetooth 5.0. When we go under CPU, you can see that this is quad-core processor. It is running on ARM Cortex-A55, which is running at maximum of 2004 megahertz. Actual board is created on 64-bit, but it's running, the actual software is running on 32-bit. And here are the 4 cores, the ones that are sleeping and going down and always maximum to the top. And also the CPU utilization is about give and take 21%. You can see that the native resolution on this is 1080p. It is running on 61 dpi. The GPU on this is Mali G31. It is single core, 60 Hz, running on landscape mode. And the OpenGL on this is 3.2, which means is that when you play video games on this, it will run really smooth. We will show that at the end of the video. And here you go. This is one part that I wanted to bring up to you guys. This box do support Wi-Fi 6. But when you want to scroll down a little bit, you're going to see that 5G band is the one that is supported. Does not say anything over that. So this app cannot read anything over 5 gigahertz of band. So this is running OS 11, which is Red Velvet Cake. Now here is the main heat that we have to talk about. So the actual CPU on this is running about 50, which is still really cool. And I have seen some boxes that are running over 60. And this is the RAM, which is still running about 50, which is really good, by the way. And the battery is always going to be low because there's no battery. It's all going to be AC connection, or we call it DC connection in this case, have power up with regular power line. Now when you go to codecs, just like the other X5, this one also supports AV1. So here go from the bottom, we're going to go up. So you can see that it is running H.264, VP9, VP8, MPEG-4, and also have the older ones, which is called HIVAC, and also H.263. And there's the AVC, there's the WVC1, and then WMV2, MV1, VP8, RM30, which is the real code, which is really old. Also going down, you have MPEG-4. Here's the Dolby Vision. Yes, so certain apps like Disney Plus require it. And here we are. So AVS2, AV1, which is very mandatory for this type of box to have. Also RAW. And also you have the OPUS, which a lot of codecs are running on something like YouTube. And this will help you out. .mp3. It's all going to be written over here that can help you out when you're trying to play certain different type of servers that you want to get into. Also, this codec is going to help you out with your different type of apps that you want to install on this box. So there's a lot of things inside of it. Now, the next part we want to go to is going to be YouTube. So as you can see, the YouTube on this can run on real good quality with 4K video. Yes, we're capturing on 1080p, but it is running it on 4K. So I know that you should be able to see it very smoothly, but we're not done yet. Let's go a little bit geeky inside of it. Now you can see a little bit more. So as you can see right now, the actual viewport, and in this case, what I'm capturing under is 1080p. There's this much frames, zero drop, which is awesome. Now, if you look underneath of it, this is running on 4K, but in 30 frames per second. That's okay. You can see that this is using the VP9 and OPUS, as I was mentioning earlier, and it is all going to be here. So the color combinations are properly done too, but right now it looks like it is a little bit frozen. So let's go to another little video to check more to see exactly why this is happening. And there's still not going to be a frame drop, but it is a little bit frozen. So here we go. This is a lot better. And you can see that it's still going to be 1080p, zero frame drops. And then this is 4K and 30 Hertz. And now it's running AV01, which is AV1, and also OPUS in order for this to be running. So now it's very smooth. It looks like that video had an issue, not this box. So now it's running properly. I really like this way better. And now we can tell that this box will do the job perfectly. One thing I have to mention is not in this video, I cannot really mention. Disney Plus will work perfectly, and also Netflix will work as an SD, which requires an air mouse, something like this, in order for you to move up or down to play videos. And it is going to run on standard definition, so it's not going to be high definition. A maximum that you can run on this is going to be 520p and not 720p, but it is better than 480p. So I gotta mention that it's not that much of a difference, but once you start watching the videos, you're not gonna see that much pixelization unless you're really going to be into 4K and you have roughly about 80-inch TV to notice the difference. But in this review, I cannot really bring it out. For full review, please visit our website and we have a full review for this box so it can help you out. Alright, enough said about this. Let's go through and check some little settings and better parts about this box. Now, number one for this box that I want to mention is going to be the actual app for the remote. This is the one. It's called Buzztv Smart Remote. So once you go to it, it will tell you a few things. Number one is going to be if you're connected or not. Number two is going to be your current firmware. Yes, you get updates, which is right over here. And it tells you how much battery life you have for this remote. Another part is that you can scan your TV, so you can make this remote with the actual power button to turn on and off also your source button to change from port to port, and also the volume control will work, so this way you do not have to use your box's volume control, which is right over here. You have to turn this on, and now you do not have to use your remote volume in order to go back and forth. But if you want to use your box volume, then you do not have to pair your remote with your TV. Another part is that when you click on this backlit on, the backlit will turn on as soon as you touch the remote itself, as I'm showing you right now. The next part is going to be set up color keys. This way you can click on it and you can set up one of your color keys. In this case, I set up the red one to open certain apps. I have to mention that you will lose that functionality inside of your Buzztv app. Another part is pair Bluetooth remote. There are two ways that you can process it. You can come here, you can point the remote towards your box if it doesn't work, and you see that it doesn't work when you have the remote away from the box. Point it towards it and open up your remote control app, the smart remote control, and then come over here, click on this pair remote, and you can pair it back. Another way you can do it is just point the remote towards the box and press info button. It automatically takes you so you can pair your remote. And then also HDMI CEC. Now, if you do not want to turn off the box when you're turning off your TV, just switch this off. If you have older type of TVs, you can turn this off too, so that way when you're turning off your TV, it doesn't shut off the box itself. So this will really help you out when you're setting this up. Now, the next part I want to talk about is going to be some parts in the settings. So number one will be how to go to your update. Here you go. And then you can check for update. It will give you a lot of information inside of it, something like when it was released, and also the actual current Buzztv app version is going to be right here. And it shows you when it was last time you checked, which is a really good thing. Now, the next thing is going to be changing your background. Now, for this, you need to have a USB connected to the box, and you have to have some backgrounds already installed or downloaded on that, and then you can say allow, and then I have to go to this little hamburger sign, or in this case we call it menu, press, go to images, and DCIM. The images will show up. So now we can use one of these to be our background. So why don't we use this one? You just have to double click on it, and now it became your background. So this is how easy it is to change your background. Now, if you want to change it back, you just have to press the OK button for a few seconds on top of the BG image, and it will remove it back to the default. Now, if you wanted to change it to something different, like this water, which is the first one, you just have to press, and voila, now it's changed. So this is how easy it is to process and change the backgrounds on this box. So we can go back to it, and you can press the OK button for a couple of seconds, and it's back to empty, which is a really cool thing. Now, the next part was that we wanted to change some of these launcher to make it more like classic or modern. So in this case right now, when you select it, it's the last one on the list. So if we go and make it classic, it takes a couple of seconds, and this is how it looks. It looks more like the XPL 3000 and the 2000 that they had. And when you go to server settings, you have more options. You can even change the background over here. So we can say allow, and then we can go back to the same place, and then we can say image, DCIM, which where I resided the box, the pictures to be. And I'm going to select this one and press OK, double click on it, and now it will change. So when you go to the main screen, again, that's the background that you have, which is perfect. Now, how do you go back to that same place that we were before? We just have to go back into our utilities. In this case, we will go to home screen, to back to modern, which is going to be the first one. So these are little tips I thought I should bring up and show you guys how that is possible, except that I cannot show you the part called server settings in this review. It will be under full review, so you can check it out, but we're not done yet. Let's go back inside. So the next part I wanted to capture and tell you is going to be the video player, and this is how we will know exactly how good of a quality of videos this can play. So we have to go to our network. So here's our videos, and let's just play one by one. So the first one I want to play is going to be a 1080p video. So this is one of our videos, and yes, I turned off the sound because I wanted to make sure that I'm able to make this video. And you can see that it plays it very, very nicely. Yes, I pressed the wrong button in order to pause it. But this is how easy it is and how nice the picture really looks. There's no pause to it for 1080p. And let's go. This is our 4K video. For some reason, for a few seconds, it just paused and then start playing. But I don't have any kind of pauses on my network. And it looks like it just digitized it a little bit. I see a little pauses, but it looks like it is playing it nice and smoothly. But certain parts in the video, I can tell that there is a little breakage. So I believe that they still need to work on the firmware to make it a lot smoother. But it looks smooth to me now. And here is the 4K in 10 bits. So it looks beautiful. Also the sound is phenomenal. So there's no pause to this one. Once it starts running, it's very smooth. I really like this colors better than the other ones. So this one will work for us. I really like this. I'm going to bring it down a little bit so we can hear. And yes, this works. I'm going to like this one way better. So this will pass the 10-bit video. Now the next part will be our speed test. And here you go. So on our Wi-Fi 6, the first time that I tried, I got 250 for my download and 53 for my upload, which is exceeding by 3.5 megabits. That means is my maximum upload speed is 50 megabits, but it's going a little bit over, which is really good. Now, if I have to bring it up, you can see that my idle time, or we call it ping, is very low, which is really good. Now, when we tried one more time, we went up a little bit. This is, again, Wi-Fi 6. And our upload went down a little bit, but it is almost to a point that I can say it exceeded. When you look on my idle time, it even went lower, which is really good. Now, when we went with our LAN connection, this was beautiful. We got 886 for my download and 53 for my upload. And you can see there's not much of an arc going up and down. It just went really nice and smooth through. So it was a little bit to make it 885 and 880. And you can see those little parts that it goes up and down. But for my upload, it was really nice and smooth. It was sticking about 50 to 53. But mostly when it goes near to the end, it starts going down about 52.2. And that's where you don't see that much of a lag. But when you go down, my idle time was 14, which is really good number. Now, when we went for very last time, it went down a little bit. And you can see that little arc that stayed down, which gave us about 851. This is a LAN connection, which is a gigabit LAN, so you're not going to get over the 890. And over here, we got 53. Again, it's exceeding 3.3 megabits. And my ping was low as 14, which really cool. And these other parts should explain to yourself that what it really means. Now, for the full review of this, it's already uploaded to our website, which will give you more access to learn a little bit more about the actual Buzztv 5 app, which has a lot of functions inside of it and syncs with certain different parts with this platform that I'm on, which is called YouTube. I cannot really bring it up to you guys, so don't worry, you already covered, and it's going to be on our website so you can view and learn more. But this was our basic review of this box. I know that there's so many things into this, and I do not believe I can cover it under one model or just one video. Don't worry, if you still want to learn more, ask at the bottom of the video. We love to help you out ASAP. Except that if you want to purchase this, this is the limited edition. And also they're going to name it a special edition, which is called SE for X5 version. And this is the chameleon color. Or they also named it AX for the Wi-Fi 6. So this is a beautiful box. Do not want you to miss it. Links are available. It's also going to help our channel up when you order one. So don't forget to click that. And on top of that, if you like it, give us a thumbs up. And I hope you guys like our video. If you do like it, click the like button. Like us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and other social networking places. And thank you.